I would like, if I may, to take you on a strange journey.
Tell us something that we don't know about the music industry.
Okay, so yeah, so like I said before, so I'm a house music producer. I go by the name of Taurus. Yes, like the bull, like the zodiac bull. I know that's not the devil's sign. That's just bull like the horns. But
Mhm.
okay, so here's a. We're talking a lot on a global spectrum, so I'm gonna explain this from a global point of view. Um, it is now more than certain. I've always known this, and I've been trying to push this onto the world for at this point, about 15 years now. It's really hard to gain some traction on it, but this is now finally coming to the front, and we are now starting to finally see how the devil is in music, and more specifically, hip hop. Okay, and let me explain this to you. And I think even Kanye was when he was going on his multiple rants in the last 4 to 5 months. A part of this was music. He was talking about the 808 kicks and how they have changed it, just tweaked it, the frequency. Okay, I know I'm getting technical here, but this is very very very
Mhm.
important, and I'm going to come all the way around here. If you could just give me the floor, I'm going to go a little
Take it
crazy.
away.
All right. Okay, so the top two most listened to genres of all time was, first, it was rock and roll, and then hip hop took it over in the most recent years as the most listened to and most popular genre of music of all time. Both of these constantly promote the devil in plain sight, okay, through degeneracy, through absolute symbology, with whether it's the triangle, or the pyramids, all that stuff, or if it's literally just Satan's horns, or if it's just the degeneracy from fucking bitches and doing drugs and shooting people and killing people and all that stuff. The content of this music is just pure and blatant evil. Now, from that, okay, now we step back. It's like, okay, so it's pure, blatant evil. They're allowed to do so. Yes, they are allowed to do so. But how isn't it weird that the quality of the music of hip hop is so awful? It's just awful. Well, it's just terrible quality, and yet that terrible quality is in high demand. All right, so it is now the most listened to music of the world, which now means, when you take a step back, take away music, for example, we are in the most uh, degenerate degeneracy is at an all-time high. Would you agree? Quick second, would you agree?
Yeah, yeah,
Degeneracy is at an
definitely.
all-time high, especially on a global spectrum. Okay, great. So when you see that, it's like, okay, so what is everybody eating? What is everybody eating? It's very very easy to guess that I'm going to get fat if I keep eating McDonald's every single day. It's an easy prediction. And why is that easy? Because you can visually see it. But we have different we consume in different ways, with our mouth, with our eyes, and with our ears. Okay, so
Mhm.
I like to call this the three M's. We all consume from the three M's: music, movies, and media. All three of these are made to manipulate your mind, something you can't even truly control when consuming. And one of
Yeah.
the things, so we can watch a movie and use logic before our heart, right? Before our emotion. And we can watch the news, the media, and use logic before our heart. But with music, there's no music in the world where your logic is tuned in. Your music is made specifically for emotions, right? To cater to emotions. Okay. So
Hmm.
now go back to the globe. We all confirm that degeneracy is at an all-time high. Why? Because of what we are consuming. So the frequency we are consuming is demonic, and it's by design. It is on purpose. And when you're looking at the number one most listened to music of all time, and that's hip hop, there is no quality whatsoever in that. We're talking at a time where, like, Beethoven was famous because of his quality, that kind of stuff, that era. It's all quality. The quality was in high demand. Now, quality is not important. Degeneracy is in high demand. And there you go. There's the results of the world. You have highly emotional people ready to murder on a pulse, you know? Um, like you already know the realm I'm going to dive into here. But so the point I'm trying to make is, Part of the main reason, the main reason on why this world is what it is simply because of the undertone of the frequency we all consume, and that is music. Because music is the universal language, and that's quoting Nikola Tesla. Okay, the secret to the universe is frequency. And
Yeah.
that's why before I became a music artist, that's why I dove into house music. That's why house music called on me. And I've been pushing it, and I've been a true front uh, campaign oriented artist towards house music. That's why I started my own house music community. I have my own house music merch store, and I make house music. And I even made, and by the way, I even made a Tate, a house music song called Tate, and I really hope to get it all done and out on release upon his official release because he's still under house arrest. So that's in the works as well, but I can't give anything else away at the moment. Yeah, my whole life is now house music, and that is where God lies. I believe that is God's last stance from a musical spectrum. And you can be saying, you might even be a house music fan saying, well, there's a lot of evil house music. Absolutely. I will fight you though and say, how many times does an evil house song with evil lyrics make it long lasting? Go look at classic tracks that are still played 30 years later. There is no demonic content whatsoever. So that's why I love house music so much, because it filters
It's
through
just
the
a
crap.
different vibe, huh?
Yes, and then to prove that God is in house music and it's not in hip hop, it is very, very clear, and I can prove this. We're not going to do this today, but I can prove this. If anybody wants to message me privately, I can prove this to you. Hip hop is not number one because of reality. It is inflated numbers. It's not real whatsoever. Cardi B just spits out a song and she makes it to the top of the billboards. It's not real. It's not real. The people up here, the people above, and yes, the people that Kanye West was talking about, okay, those people put the puppets in front, they infuse it with a bunch of marketing campaigns so that we could stay at the top. And if you stay at the top, you have all the attention. We literally saw Cardi B having an hour and a half one-on-one with Joe Biden. Okay, like what the hell does that have to do with anything? Why? Because attention. That was an attention play. How does Cardi B get the attention? Because she's ratchet, she's crazy, she's chaotic. They put her there for a reason. So this is now I'm going to explain why house is God and God is house. House music it's been around for 40 straight years, and it's been relevant the entire time. And in those 40 years, not once has house music been pumped with money, yet it still survives. Therefore, it is self-evident that house music has survived because the people choose it. The people choose it without any endorsements, without hardcore marketing. The people choose it. Nobody has chosen hip hop. Hip hop was pushed onto the people like a commercial. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I live in Toronto, Canada. I'm telling you, the last 20 years on mainstream radio, house music is just not there. It's only hip hop. And look what my whole city listens to. If you're from Canada, from here, the majority of people listen to hip hop. Even if it's not their number one, it's in their playlists. It's there. Okay. And
It's like
so
the only thing. Sorry to interrupt. That they
it's
talk
okay.
about it's pretty much money, drugs, and sex.
Degenerate
Yeah,
sex, like meaningless sex,
yeah.
degrading.
Nothing that promotes
Yes.
any sort of betterment
Togetherness.
for the humankind.
Yes, exactly. And again, I mean, and look where hip hop like truly comes from. It comes from America, and again, degeneracy is pushed through the hip hop, and then now look at the results from American society. Look at the generation coming up. Look at the 16-year-olds, the 17-year-olds. Well, look, you understand. So you are breeding a specific kind of society, and here we are. All the problems with America today, a lot of them stem from the frequency that you listen to, and that's
100%.
all. So this is a really hardcore deep dive, and it might take the consumer here listening to this, it might take a couple of times to hear it for you to truly see it and understand. But I've been on this for 15 years, which is now half of my life. I'm 30 years old, and I've been on this for a long time. This is actually extremely exciting times for me because I've been anticipating this era, and that's why I'm going hardcore on house music, on my artistry and my community. If you want to hear more about this, if you want to do one-on-one, you can DM me, and I'll be very, very happy to talk to you.
Guys, make sure to talk to him. He knows a lot about this stuff. And if you guys are interested in recording as well, he's open to do sessions.
Hmm.
So just let him know on any times. One last question before we close the session, because we're in an hour already.
Hmm. Hmm.
Question: what do you think is, at least as a DJ for you, is the VPM rate that you
Hmm.
like to stay in when
Yes.
you're DJing for a large crowd?
Okay, so that's a great question. That was I like that surprise question. Okay, so again, a part of the reason why the society is the way it is because the hip hop, which is again the most popular music of today, hip hop has changed. The '90s hip hop that everybody truly loves used to be at between 90 to 105 BPM, which was
Mm-hmm.
1.5 times the speed of your average sitting down heart rate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the most popular hip hop, the Drake's best hits, for example, all comes down to 60 to 70 BPM, sitting down music, where you do not actually have to get up and dance. You can just, dance in your seat. Okay, there is for the first time ever, the number one music in the world is at the slowest rate of all time. So
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely hate staying in that realm, and I rarely, rarely do. I rarely pull out hip hop when my DJ sets, and I do weddings, corporate events, I do any type of thing, birthday party, anniversaries. So the BPM I like to stay in is definitely like between 118 to 130, and in that realm of in that range, actually, you can do a lot of Latin stuff, merengue. You can do even you can do bachata from a Spanish point of view, and then that's where house music sits. That's where all styles of house music sits, except for some very fast techno. Um, what else? What else? What else? A lot of soca, a lot of Caribbean style music is up there as well. Although it could still fall into the reggaeton range, which is like
Mm-hmm.
around again normally between 100 to 110 is where reggaeton and soca and Caribbean vibes kind of sit within, which is again very, very danceable. The point is, as a DJ, my job is to keep people on the dance floor and to make them dance and to make them feel that nostalgic and euphoric feeling, and that feeling lies in 100 between 100 to 130 BPM.
Yeah, I typically say from experience that it will go from 128 to 132 BPMs
Hmm.
from what I've researched on my own. When you do DJing, that's pretty much where the heart is already flowing, the blood is pumping, but
Hmm.
not at a
Hmm.
pace where you have to run. You're
Right,
just
right,
enough to get you active and get you
exactly,
dancing
exactly.
without having to look like you're done cocaine all day.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're already in an hour, so we're gonna go
Hmm.
ahead and wrap it up. I'm gonna go ahead and do like a closing
Let's
thing,
do it. Yeah, let's do it up.
and then I'm gonna go ahead and give your information again. You give your information once again,
Hmm.
and then we go ahead and wrap it up real nice.
Okay, perfect.
One, two, three. Well, thank you for coming to the show. It is fantastic to speak to you for such a long time. I mean, we talked about politics and music. What else could you have in a show? Now, I want you to give your information to the audience so they can contact you if they wanted to. Please take it away.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to be on your show. I think it's going to be a great show. I heard about the plans that you have behind this, and I think it's going to work on a social media standpoint. So I really, really hope you're successful in that. For me, guys, again, my name is Taurus. Like the bull, like the zodiac. If you can follow me on Taurus.music, that is Taurus.music on Instagram. I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys. I also have 20 plus tracks on release. You can follow me on Spotify as well. And that's basically it. I have a YouTube account. It's also Taurus Music as well. You'll see the official check mark on there. And that's it. If you guys want to pick my brain in any way whatsoever, I'm more than happy to do so. Ask me tough questions and challenge me. Even get mad at me, right? But at the end of the day, you are not my enemy, and I am not yours. And I do not intend to, disrespect as I am pushing my hardcore opinions. But and then within my hardcore opinions, I'm slowly trying to infuse it into the music that I make. I've decided to be a driving force into the world from a musical standpoint, and this is how I intend to do it. So I look forward to seeing you guys. Taurus.music.
All right, guys, this has been another session of the Foreign Exchange. Happy to have you. Hope to have you in the next episode. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
I would like, if I may, to take you on a